tonight was to talk about politics. You know, there's a lot going on with politics. A lot of Democrats out there, a lot of Republicans. What side are y'all on? Do y'all want to roll with Kamala Harris? The great, what they call her, top cop of California that turned vice president? Or do we roll with Donald Trump? Which one we going with? I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself, but I'm going to let y'all know a little bit later. But right now, guess what? And I'm about to get into this here book, which is a great book of mine. I've been putting it off reading these chapters. Now's the time. I'm just going to go ahead and bang it out, read it out, and get it over with. So, social media, get aboard what I got going on. Check me out. This right here is chapter 12. This is another side of a Gemini. And also, I'm a Gemini, just to let y'all know. They say Gemini's got a few personalities, a couple personalities, but guess what? That could be true sometimes, depending on who the person is. Anyway, ring, 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 ring. Michelle, get up and answer the phone. Gangsta Jake yelled from the shower. Oh, by the way, I need y'all to catch up to these episodes. For those that have not read these episodes, for those that have not got aboard these books, man, I got some great books out here. Check them out. I am Nairi Jace. I am a great author. I'm working on a TV series, and for those that think they can act, pull up tomorrow, DM me. I'll let you know where we're going to be located. We're doing auditions tomorrow. We're going to be doing some auditions for the Gangsta Jake TV script. We're going to be doing some live shit. And we want those that think they can act be a part of it. I want you guys to be a part of it if you think that. Anyway, let me get back into my read, man. This is my book, man. I've been putting this off, man. This is my baby. This is a great project that I wrote. This is part 1 of it right here. Just to let y'all know, that's part 2 for those that really enjoy reading. And also we got part 3, which is Peace Treaty 2017. This right here is what the TV series is actually building up to. And it's about, just to let y'all know, it's about a hardcore gangbanger named Gangsta Jake, who declared a national peace treaty among the Bloods and Crips. But this right here entails consequences of death for those who chose to go against it. Death. You heard that. Basically, man, this is Gangsta Jake's way of stopping gangbanging in America. He got his own way of doing it. He feel like all the talking is obsolete and ain't got us nowhere so far. We've been talking about stopping this thing. We ain't done it. So what's next? Let's just kill off the motherfuckers that ain't down with the peace. I know it's hard. I know it's cruel. I know it's tough. But guess what? We killing off each other anyway. So let's get to the business. Let's get these dudes up out of here that ain't trying to be down with the movement. That's just a little snippet of what the Gangsta Jake's TV series ends up to be in the end. But check out chapter 12 right here. And those that haven't read the other chapters, the first episode up to chapter 12 is on my YouTube channel. I need some subscribers. Y'all tap in, subscribe to my channel. I'm the big homie over on YouTube. Y'all know where I'm at. Act like y'all know where I'm at. Start playing. Pull up. As I mentioned, ring, 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 ring. Michelle, get up and answer your cell phone. Gangsta Jake yelled from the shower. Baby, I'm tired. Is all she moaned from underneath the fluffy comforter. Michelle had a hangover out of this world. Too many mixed drinks had her head spinning from the from the night before. Ring, 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 ring. He eventually jumped out the shower, wet, asshole naked, to find Michelle's phone. Damn, girl, get your lazy butt up. Hello, Gangsta Jake answered in a upset voice. Is Michelle awake? Robin asked in a low tone. What happened to speaking first? I know your mama raised you better than that. I'm sorry. Good morning, Rohan. Is Michelle, are you guys okay? Her concerns were actually in reference to Michelle only, and he sensed it. What do you mean, okay? He plexed on her and caught an attitude. The other side of him surfaced. Michelle had always teased Gangsta Jake about his split personalities, but in spite of being a Gemini, he denied having one. Check this out, Robin. I'm not about to be playing games with you in any longer. For your information, don't think for 1 second that I'm some stupid ass nigga who don't know how you feel about me. Rohan, what are you talking about? He cut her off from speaking the words at the top of her mind. Listen, little bitch. He looked over Michelle, who had dozed back off underneath the comforter. His voice lowered as he thought out his next few words very carefully. I hope you haven't told anyone about what went down in L.A. I told you what them selfish bastards did to me, so I don't know what your problem is, basically. A couple some murders that jumped off. For those that ain't caught up to the trilogy, to this right here while I'm reading, catch up to it. It's a very great story. Rohan, I, uh, I don't have any problem with you. Whatever you did in your whatever you did is your business. I know how the game goes. I'm not into running my mouth about other people's affair. I heard that little slick shit you told Michelle when we first came in town, talking about, I'm glad you left that no good nigga. You lucky I didn't do nothing to you behind saying that dumbass shit. His face frowned up while a hot flash came across Robin's entire body. She was caught up. She was caught off guard with the threats he sprung on her. Look here, Robin. Then my name tastes like shit in your mouth. I thought we could be cool based on Michelle and the fact that you did help with my defense while I was in prison. But Robin, you've been acting real shady lately. She was practically speechless, but tears rolled down Robin's frightened face. Her voice shook and was uneven. Rohan, he interjected once again. I drove past your parents' house yesterday. Don't give me a reason to swing back through there. She understood exactly what he was referring to. Another thing, you better act like we never had this conversation. And if I find out you mentioned it to anybody, you and your folks can cancel Christmas. Click. Robin sat on the edge of her bed, listening to what had turned into a ringtone. She could not stop crying or imagining Gangsta Jake killing her and her parents. God, please do not let this fool do any harm to me and my family. She cried out loud as tears continued flowing down her face. I don't know why this boy is stressing me out like this. Lord, please protect me from him. She cried out while dropping down to her knees. Robin had become hysterical. Gangsta Jake hopped back in the shower and continued jacking himself off. Masturbating had been a part of his program during his entire stay in prison. Since Michelle was out of commission and he was horny as a toad, he did what he had grown accustomed to doing. As much as he denied it, Gangsta Jake had become institutionalized. If it wasn't for him being so in love with Michelle, he probably would have been back in prison with his buddies. He had been home for a few months and owed it to Michelle. She was the one main reason he strived to so hard to be not caught up with crime. On the other hand, no matter how bad he wanted to be with her, he refused to use that as a deterrent to avoid the promise he made to the young lad and his other homies on lockdown. Killing snitches is what he vowed to do, and as long as he was capable of doing so, that is what he planned on doing. 5 hours after Gangsta Jake hung the phone up on Robin, Michelle rose from her sleep. She stretched her arms out and yawned before placing a pleasant, well-rested smile on her face. Hi, boo. Can I have a kiss? Her breath was stale from the smell of alcohol the night before. You stink, girl. She knew he was only teasing her. Oh, that's jacked up. Forget you, nigga. I'm messing with you. Give me one, beautiful. Damn, you're even cute in the morning. He not only walked over and gave her a big wet kiss, but also spread her legs open wide and tapped that ass with the quickness. He had to have it at least twice a day. Thereafter, he reached over and grabbed a joint from the ashtray, took 3 long drags, exhaled, and laid underneath Michelle perfectly round butt. The two fit together like a glove. Her baby, wait, here, baby, hit this. He attempted to place the pinhead up to her mouth. I'm cool. You know I don't like that smell. I mean, that small, it's too damn little to smoke. Girl, hit the shit. It ain't gonna kill you to say weed. Okay, Mr. Demanding, whatever you say. I talked to your scary ass friend earlier. Who? Robin? Who else? I should have known. Were you nice to her, Rohan? Please don't tell me you were mean to Robin. Michelle searched his eyes for an answer. She's my girl. She had too late. Wait, he had a too late for that attitude on his face. Rohan, what did you tell her? By being aware of all the love she had for Robin, he was reluctant to reveal the truth. But, of course, he did. Besides, he and Michelle vowed to never hold secrets or grudges from one another. I put her ass in check. I heard what the fuck she said at her apartment yesterday. Girl, you just don't know. He shook his head from side to side. I was seconds away from cutting you off from dealing with her, he added. What? Why? For not hollering at me about what she said. That shit was bogus. You know you're not supposed to hold back anything from, we're not supposed to hold back anything from one another, right? Baby, I know I'm sorry. They had never engaged in an argument, so Michelle did not know if he would, how he would react. He was not afraid, she was not afraid to be around them, fearing of her life or nothing like that. She knew better than that, but receiving an ass whooping did cross her mind. Baby, I just didn't want to get you upset. Robin did not mean nothing by saying that. Gangsta Jake stood up from the bed with the upset look on his face. Once he placed his boxers on, he turned back around and looked Michelle square in her eyes. He didn't like the way she continually defended Robin. I know that's your girl and all, but he paused and placed Michelle in a suspense for a few seconds. But I don't want you dealing with her any longer. From this day forward, it's over between the two of you, he told Michelle with the voice of authority. It's a wrap, a done deal. Cutting him off from her friend. Have you ever been with a guy that cut you off with your man? Have it ever happened to you? And if it happened, would you go for it? Would you go for a guy that, you know, that you met? In this case, she met him in the penitentiary. But, you know, their love is deep. Their love is real deep. You know how y'all females get caught up with these guys in the world. I'm just trying to figure out, if you had a female that you've been knowing for all your life, would you cut her off for the reason of him saying to? Michelle battled with her emotions as she's played her case. As much as she tried to maintain her composure, the thought of being forced to abandon her best friend did not sit well with her. A tear rolled down her left eye, then her right. She was heartbroken, but Gangsta Jake did not care. He was extremely upset at her betrayal. As a matter of fact, we're getting the fuck up out of Brooklyn today. Damn, baby, why are you tripping? I told you I was sorry. That ain't nothing but that Gemini in you. And you acting just like that. Rohan, please don't stop me from seeing my friend. Our families are tight. Rohan, our mothers raised one another. When my mom died, please, Rohan, please let us remain friends. As time went on, her tears were starting to have an effect on his decisions. She eventually wore him down with her constant weeping and bedroom eyes. He was ready to reason, but not without a firm scolding. God damn, Michelle, shut the fuck up, he ordered. But he ordered his orders only made her cry harder. When she recognized a downshift in his attitude, her emotions displayed her emotional display grew more intense. That's just how y'all females do. Once you know you got a man, y'all get to going in hard. Y'all get to going in hard, driving the car. But anyway, so she enjoyed the undivided attention and the effect her sobbing was having on him. Look, Michelle, he firmly stated with his finger pointing at her face. I'm gonna give you one more chance, and one more chance only to be cool with Robin. As long as you black. His face twitched up as he gently poked her with his index finger. Don't you ever get out of line like that again. He was still extremely upset, but was willing to work with her based on how tight the two girls were. Guess Gangsta Jake had a little heart, huh? He had a little heart. Okay, so The fact that Robin helped him gain his freedom also had an impact on his decision. Michelle Booze and Who's came to an end when she realized her battles was easily won with tears. At least remaining friends with Robin was possible without allowing her a second to celebrate her own within her own mind. Gangsta Jake reached back and slapped her with half of his might. He then repeated the same process a couple of times. Damn, he tipped her up. Yeah, I didn't think that was coming up. Damn. I knew it was coming because I wrote it. But anyway, don't you ever hold nothing back for me. He screamed out with aggression. I'm sorry, baby. I won't do it again, Daddy. She grabbed her face and was very upset. Michelle was shocked, but not at all surprised. She was well aware that Gangsta Jake did not take disloyalty lightly. Principles he stood on would be enforced with violence if violated. Not even Michelle could escape his wrath if she went against the grain. When Gangsta Jake was a youngster, being disciplined by his big homies for misbehaving was a part of his upbringings. After an ass beating from his OGs, they would hug him and no love was lost. His intentions was not to hurt her, but to show her there would be repercussions for any disobeying his program. Let him and his homies tell it was only done out of love. Michelle did not see it as such. She viewed it as a bunch of bullshit. As Gangsta Jake slapped her, she came back with a series of swings and punches of her own. Michelle wasn't no buster, don't forget that. She ain't no coward now. Remember, this girl's a killer. For those that haven't read the trilogy, catch up to the trilogy. This girl done put some murders on already, so she ain't no punk. She came back with a few punches on her own, right? Her first blow caught him in the lip and busted it. He responded by pushing her to the ground and placing his fingers up to his lip. Ain't this a bitch, he told himself while viewing the blood on the tip of his two middle fingers. He was stunned. He didn't think she had it in her to take back off on him, but he was wrong. Nigga, I ain't no fucking punching bag. I'm supposed to be your bitch, and this is the way you treat me? That's fucked up. She wept. I didn't do all that time with your ass in prison for you to come home and beat my ass. I'm not no damn punching bag. I don't get no thrill out of getting my ass slapped up. I'm not having this bullshit, Rohan. Gangsta Jake walked over to the restroom mirror as Michelle continued on with her rant. I'll be damned. This girl done bust my motherfucking lip. He whispered to himself while looking at Michelle through the mirror. By this time, someone had summoned the NYPD due to all the commotion going on inside the room. Pope was there, you know it's all bad. Boom, 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 boom. Open up the door, a tall jet black officer demanded as his white partner stood inches away from gripping the gun inside of his holster. Who the hell is it? Michelle yelled toward the door, surprised that someone was banging on it in the first place. New York police, open up. Fuck, Gangsta Jake softly spoke as he looked over toward Michelle. Just a moment, I have to get dressed. Michelle stared back at Gangsta Jake with a look of confusion. She like, what the fuck going on? The police here this time. Man, nobody know what the fuck going on at that point. He immediately ran toward the table to retrieve Michelle's gun that sat in plain view. Then went over to the bag of weed that lay next to a pack of zigzags. As fast as he could, Gangsta Jake stuffed the contraband beneath the mattress and dashed over toward Michelle. We'll deal with this shit later, he hissed over to her. Let's just get these white folks out of our business for now. Rohan, all I want to do is leave. I need some time to think. Think? He questioned with his face turned up. Think about what? I don't like the way you carried me. That shit hurt my feelings. Tears continued to flow down her face. Pull yourself together. His lips tightened up. Therefore, his voice was heard only from her inside the room. We've been through too much together for for this for us to be going out like this. Boom, 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 boom. Open up the door, ma'am. We don't have all day. I'm coming. Rohan, I'm not going to let them do nothing to you, but right about now, I just want to be alone. I might go over to Robin's apartment for a while to clear my head. I need to let these people in before they kick the damn door in, right? After the small delay, she finally opened the door as the tall black officer so adamantly commanded. The two officers walked inside the room with the hotel manager in the rear. Michelle stood at the door in one of Gangsta Jake's white t-shirts while he pretended to be using the toilet. What's the problem, miss? The white officer with the New York accent spoke up. His partner scanned the room, making sure they were not in harm's way, that they were not in harm's way. We received a call from some type of call from some type of disturbance coming out of this room. Is everything okay? He continued. Yes, I'm fine. Her tears came to an end when the police entered the room, but they could tell by the puffiness in her eyes that she had been crying. They both sensed the problem. What happened to your face? Who hit you? The black officer asked with a look of great concern. I got into it with my man over him getting some female pregnant. His sorry ass had the nerve to fuck her nasty ass without using a condom. She began crying again. Being around Gangsta Jake and hearing his tall tales to those in authority trained her to be a great liar. Did he hit you and bruise your face like that? The white officer looked at her in the eye and asked. He was ready to get to the bottom of the situation and move forward into his shift. He had hot donuts and coffee in his patrol car, and he was eager to get back. to. Gangsta Jake sat on the toilet behind the closed door with his neck and body stretched out. He wanted to hear every word that was being said. No, he did not hit me. The girl he got pregnant and one of her girlfriends jumped me. Where did that take place? According to the other guests, loud noises were coming out of this room. Were you guys fighting here? The black officer made a few steps toward the restroom and asked if anyone was inside it. His intuitions told him someone was. As he advanced toward the door, Gangsta Jake flushed the toilet so the officer would not be startled. All attention then focused on whoever was in the restroom. If Michelle planned on getting the police out of their mix, she knew it was time to start lying again. That's my boyfriend, scandalous ass. The hotel manager tilted his head and looked at Michelle over the rim of his brown glasses. If he's so scandalous, what is he doing here, young woman? The short Arab man sarcastically asked with a wise guy's attitude. Look, Mohammed Abdul Swami, or whoever your name is, this ain't got nothing to do with you. You need to get you some business. Young woman, I have everything to do with what's going on in my business. I assure you. Michelle cut him off by making him talk to the hand she placed up to her face. Michelle ain't no joke. She's like, fool, you better back up. Oh, this is a long chapter right here, y'all. Could y'all please tell him to shut up? I will shut up. I will not shut up. Fuck you then. Screw you. Officer, I want her removed from my business at once. Gangsta Jake contemplating on making the 4-story jump from the restroom window. The fall was too far to avoid serious injury. Therefore, he opened the restroom door before the police did. When he walked out, Michelle and the Arab was engaged in a heated conversation. The towel Gangsta Jake dried his hands off with somewhat subsided his nervousness by him sucking in his bottom lip. The officers did not notice the cut in it. Well, at least not until he was asked a few questions. Step over there. The white officers pointed toward the bed where the gun and weed set below. The officers did not pull his gun out, but did unbuckle his holster and grabbed a hold of it. Their focus turned toward Michelle. and the manager who thought he was the owner to Gangsta Jake. The shape of his body alone was enough to gain their undivided attention. Is anyone else in there? The black NYPD asked Gangsta Jake, also cuffing his hand around his arm, his firearm. No, sir. They both felt intimidated by his masculinity. He kept his body in tip-top shape by doing 1,200 push-ups, 800 crunches, and 500 burpees 5 days a week. He was in the best shape of his life, and the two officers were not taking any chances on him. How long have you been out of prison? But do you have any identification? The white officer quizzed him. By Gangsta Jake being inches away from the gun, his preference was to grab it, shoot it out with the police, and flee the scene. He was quick to pull a pistol and pop if necessary. However, he knew damn well the desire lingering in the heads the desire lingering in his head was mathematically impossible if he planned on living to see another day. Without giving it much thought, he realized he had no choice but to shoot from another barrel, his mouth. First of all, I have never been to jail in my entire life, right? You know, Gangsta Jake's a cold talker. He know how to talk. It's one thing to do, not to do. What happened to your lip? The white officer asked once he began to speak. He could only hide his injury for so long. If you do not mind, sir, I would like to answer one question at a time. One question at a time, right? As I was saying, I have never been incarcerated in my entire life. If you are stereotyping me based on my killer body, I understand your rationale, and your apologies is fully accepted. I'm a man with a sense of humor, which means I certainly can take a joke. He cracked a half smile. But on a serious note, his face straightened out as he focused on the character he was portraying. I've been a professional bodybuilder for the past 12 years, and unfortunately, I've had to deal with this form of discrimination on several occasions. Sure, I have identification. It's right over there in my suitcase pocket. He began walking toward the suitcase, but was cut short. Just stay put while my partner retrieve before you. As a matter of fact, why don't you place your hands over your head for me? Excuse me? Sir? Why am I being treated like a common criminal? I know my rights as a taxpaying citizen. Yeah, right. Keep your hand over your head where I can see them, bud. And I don't want no fucking shit out of you. Either keep... I don't want no shit out of you. Keep talking and I have you in handcuffs. Gangsta Jake did not want any problems. He was too far away from home to be getting into it with the police and hauled off to jail. Besides, the bunko driver license and social security card he paid $1,000 for was good for as long as he was not arrested and fingerprinted. Once at the station, a thorough background check would be conducted. He was not a fugitive, but did not want the police knowing his true identity. To accompany his $1,000 spread were 10 fake credit cards, all in the same name. American Express's, Golden Card, MasterCards, you name it, he had it in his wallet. He was like MC Hammer claimed to be, too legit to quit. So, what did you say happened to your lip? The officer raised Gangsta Jake fake driver license up to the light. Let's see here, Mr. Kenny Wilson. What actually happened again, sir? I did it, Michelle interjected. This is my boyfriend, the one I was telling you guys about. He disrespected me, so I hit him. She gave Gangsta Jake a shitty look that only he knew the truth behind. So, let me get this straight. Here's your wallet, Mr. Wilson. You can put your hands down, sir. After seeing his credentials, they treated him with some respect. Well, oh yeah, miss, you found out he banged some female and you got her pregnant. Then he paused, rolled his eyes as if he had more important things to do. According to you, of course, someone ran across another young lady and her girlfriend who jumped you. After that, you and your boyfriend. This is your boyfriend, correct? The officer pointed his finger at Michelle. Yes, it is, or at least it was. Her eyes rolled again from Gangsta Jake. He did not know if her last statement was a part of her script or her true intentions. Nevertheless, she was doing a great job, and he was not going to disturb her unless he deemed it necessary, right? After that, you guys came to the room and ultimately had an altercation. Oh yeah, miss. And last, but definitely not least, you punched him in the mouth. That's exactly what happened. Gangsta Jake spoke up and concurred with the officer's assessment. Is that right? The white cop held the bottom of his chin and thought for a second. When he looked over at his partner had already read his mind. The two worked with one another long enough to pick up one another's thought. Miss, turn around and place your hands up over your head. Michelle's heart began beating like a drum. The police was not tripping on Gangsta Jake anymore. Michelle became their center attention. Her own statement winded up getting her handcuffed and on her way to the station. The hotel manager cracked a smile. He felt relieved to see some action being taken against her. Officer, please allow me a minute to speak to you. Gangsta Jake cut in. Sir, may I have one moment of your time to perhaps rectify this situation? The white officer continued to cuff her hand. What can you possibly say to correct what's already happened? She hit you. She's going to jail. The black officer sat back and let his partner take control. Sir, would it be possible to speak to you alone without the presence of this gentleman? He pointed at the hotel manager. You have 60 seconds. The black officer spoke up. Sir, could you please step outside the room? The manager was not feeling the request, but did comply with the officer. With the officer. Officer, I don't know any way to say this, but truthfully, this girl truly does not deserve to go to jail. First of all, her brother and dad just died in the Iraq War. That caught both officers' attention. Second, the love of her life, turned around and got some other female pregnant. On top of all that, she was evicted from her home just 2 days ago. Like a line like a rug, boy. That's the reason she's living out. Wait, hold up. That's the reason she's living out this room. He told the officers with a straight face. She's the sweetest girl in the world. Granted, she did hit me, but I'm the one who created this entire situation. She clearly acted out of emotion. So, you're telling me that you did not wish to press charges? The black officer asked the person whom he believed to be Kenny Wilson. He felt her pain. He actually did not want to arrest Michelle in the first place, but was doing so based on his partner's decision. I'll tell you what, sit down for a minute. Miss, and let me and my partner discuss the issue. They walked to the far side of the room and talked for a couple of minutes while Michelle sat on the bed handcuffed. She did not speak a word as the cops decided her fate. All right, here's what we're going to do. First of all, whose name is this room in? The white officer asked the two of them. Mine, sir, Gangsta Jake responded. Okay, since you're not interested in filing charges, we have decided to cut her loose. Miss, consider this your lucky day. He pointed at Michelle and told her. Michelle, as he instructed her to stand up in order to uncuff her, you can thank my partner for being freed. My vote was to arrest you immediately. Thank you, officer. I appreciate you for not arresting me. Don't worry about it. Make sure you keep your hands to yourself, miss. By the way, sorry for your family. for your loss. Michelle had nearly forgot about what happened. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh, yes. Thank you for your concern. The officers continued. We're going to let you go on the condition that you leave here for now. Just enough for things to cool down with the two of you. That was right up Michelle's alley. She was trying to get away from Gangsta Jake for a little while anyway. Michelle had to show that she was still upset about the way he slapped her up. She grabbed her purse and headed to her old apartment. Gangsta Jake was so relieved to get the police out of his face, he did not oppose her request. That right there is the other side of a Gemini. That is part of my book by Gangsta Jake. Read, y'all, over there, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Hope you guys enjoying this here read. Oh man, that was a lot of reading right there. But I got a busy day tomorrow. I'm gonna get up off this live. Man, thank you guys for putting up or participating in my live. But like I said, man, for those that haven't read the book, again, Gangsta Jake, Then Resolve a Snitch. That's the first book right there, y'all. And Path of Terror. That's the second book right there, Gangsta Jake. And this is Peace Treaty 2017. And for those that really enjoy reading, if you're just in the books, I also wrote a whole other book called Can't Get Enough. Those are 4 published books I got. Support the cause, support the movement. Don't forget, tomorrow I am doing some casting calls. If you guys are interested, I need 2 white officers, 2 white police to play in something I'm working on right now. I'm working on some stage performances with this Gangsta Jake project, and I need a few good actors to come and audition with me tomorrow, Sunday at 1 o'clock. Hit me up, man. Yeah, I ain't doing nothing. Hit me up. Let me throw you up in my little program. See if we can work it out with each other. But anyway, y'all be good. Thank you for your time. I'm tired as hell. I'm gonna get me some sleep. It's been a long day. But y'all be good. I'm out of here.